All right, everybody. Good morning. We are on air. November 7th, 2018. All right, everybody. And let me mute my always something. Uh, let's see. Let me get my windows back up here. That's not the one I want. There's the chat. How y'all doing today? Hopefully well. Why won't that window come up for me? That's not doing it. Must be hiding. Okay. Let me try this. Technical difficulties. Why is that window? Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Okay. All right. So, Catwoman is on the agenda today. And now I can see my view here. Let me get the room chat up. Good morning, Doc. How are you today? Good morning, Big. Ron, how's it going, buddy? Steven, good to see you. I pulled the camera back a bit more so that, maybe it would kind of start seeing things better. Maybe I was a little too close. I do study my videos throughout the day, look at them and see what I can possibly change. And I thought, well, pull the camera back, show more of my desk, and we'll see how this works out. Give this one a study after. So we're going to get going. I got Catwoman we are doing today, and I have a Micron Pigma that I'm going to do a little bit of her tech stuff. Not a lot, just to give me kind of a little bit, I guess, more mechanical line to some of it, but I'm going to be not not so okay. Seems like this pen is dry for some reason. Let me reach behind me and get a new one. And that pen should not be dry because it's not that old. But on the Dr. Doom painting for Ron that I finished yesterday, I did use it a little bit. So it's kind of coming to life. It probably just needs... Well, now, of course, now it's working. So I'll go ahead and use it. As you all could probably see here, just took a little extra pressure to get it moving. So yesterday I went in and, after we talked about the thumbnails and stuff, it's a little subtle thing, but I like it. And instead of like, I kind of matched the thumbnail. I put episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever on these so that it wasn't just a number. I actually, well, it is a number, but I just put episode. It's funny, from no thumbnails to suddenly, um, tweaking my thumbnails almost every day or something. Learning process is good. So not complaining, just making note of the things that you learn as you get deeper into doing something on YouTube. Yeah, Big, I think so too. Hello, Ryan. Good morning. or good afternoon, I think it is over there in the down under. Hope you're having a great day there. But yeah, the thumbnails, that's I really like what how they're looking. Eh, not gonna get the right curve out of that, so that's where we'll just wing it and do a little freehand. And go ahead and make the art. All right. This pen suddenly got busy. I just had to get a little bit of, probably had a little bit of paint or something on the tip. And once I bared down on it hard enough, it removed it. Thank you, Big. Uh, hey, Ron, did you see I posted up the finished Doctor Doom painting. I don't know if you saw it on my Instagram account or not, but it is finally done now, and I'm quite happy with it. Thanos will be my next watercolor portrait. So I'm kind of looking forward to that too. Good subject. Summer. Yeah. Get that in I did go out and get this crafting like scrapbook paper yesterday. Because I had just been tearing out an actual good piece of drawing paper from my sketch pad to use underneath these, and it was kind of a waste. And I do like you know, the craft paper look, because then you can actually see the dimensions of the artwork, and it doesn't blend in with the other white. And it kind of helps my old eyes too, so it's kind of a win-win. I think I actually got a little bit late start today, because I do have a wall clock, which is, I think it's a little bit slower than the clock on my phone. So I don't think I got started at right at 7 or 7:01. I think it was probably closer to 7:05, but close enough. everybody's clock going to be a little bit different. And I don't know about you all, but the daylight savings time change for me is it's bad, especially since I get up so early to begin with. And when the clock rolls back an hour, when I'm up at 4, my internal body clock, it's really 3 by our time being changed, and I don't want to lay there, so it'll take me a few weeks to adjust. As always, even when we go back, I gotta adjust. Excuse me. Yeah, it takes me 2 weeks or a little bit more to get adjusted. At least 2 weeks. That's just minimum. Okay. And what it also does, of course, is, I getting up at 4, I go to bed fairly early, and it just kind of makes me, you know, feel like I'm going to bed really early. So it's not a good situation for me until I get totally adjusted. The last couple years, it was a little bit easier because I was actually at comic book conventions during the time change. Just happened to get lucky enough to be on shows where the time change, and on top of it, I was out of my time zone to begin with, so my internal body clock was kind of already thrown off. So it didn't seem to be as bad, which was kind of nice. I kind of enjoyed that. Line weight on inking, it can be experimental, Ryan. Um, uh, there's a few different schools of thought that, you know, it depends on how, well, depends on how dark your art's going to be, you know. I tend to love working dark. Sometimes you'll see me use a lot of shadows. Not so much on this face because I want it to be kind of open. Um, but she's going to have black up top, of course, and black down here for her suit. And but there's let me do this real quick. If you have a top surface, you have it lighter, and then anything underneath is going to get a broader line. So you've got, this is where your light is hitting the top surface, and this is where your shadow is underneath. That's just basic. Then there's this one where it's almost like coloring book, where it's thin, thick, thin, and then when you get to the next curve, you pick it back up like that. So you'll see a lot of that. And it goes into a lot. There's a lot more things to consider. That's just very basic of where it can kind of go. So without getting too involved, It's kind of a short explanation to your question. But yeah, it just all depends on what you're after. Um, you'll even see some people working. I do it myself occasionally, kind of like in this area on her nose, pretty much a dead weight. So, um, there are rules to it. It's a bit of experimentation to an extent, but once you get really into it, then you start to learn the rules. And depending on the pencil artist, you you can kind of see what they're going for. Hopefully, if you got a pencil artist that's clear. If not, then as an inker, it's your job to make those decisions. And usually that's when you get breakdowns or layouts, is what they would call that. That's where you're finishing the art from a very, you know, almost like this, where there's no real detail in it yet. I'm just going to put it in as I go. So hope that helps you out some. And you'll notice that, or maybe not, there is some regular pencil on this, because my red pencil that I started with this morning to get a jump on the drawing here, like I think one of the Friday nights or something, that that pencil only came with like two leads, the one I was using and the other one, and now it's got none. So that lead departed this morning. It became a little piece that wouldn't stay out far enough for me to draw, so I got rid of it, put the old red pencil aside, and I actually have some wooden pencils, carmine red, ordered. Got a dozen of those coming, so let's see. For someone like Mike Zeck, you would immediately know how you need to ink it. But if it was someone you've never inked before, there's more consideration. Yes and no. Depends on the tightness of the pencil artist. I really don't like to get pencils that are um, extremely tight. That takes a lot of the creativity um, that I like to bring to the table out. Um, Mike is a good example of a penciler that knows exactly how much to put in so that the inker can still have a voice in the final piece of artwork. Um, I would say most of the pencils I've seen these days are just, you know, they're silly tight. I mean, they're just, it's, it's almost like, why bother inking them? And sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just shoot right from the pencils. Now, there are artists who um, draw that way on purpose because they know that their artwork is going to be drawn or shot right from the pencils. So in that case, they are drawing for reproduction right off of what they drew. Yes, on Jay Lee stuff, I spoke to him, and his wife has some technique because she also does his coloring, and she goes in and manipulates his pencils, and it's not just a matter of darkening them. She actually makes subtle adjustments and stuff with Jay's supervision, according to him, uh, to get the effect that he's ultimately looking for, and they make a really great combination. He and his wife, they're really nice people. He's one of my favorite people to watch draw. He's like extremely fast and extremely good. So you may have noticed I've been studying his stuff and trying to put in a little bit of his, the way he goes in with a bigger brush and does the feathering. So it's really interesting though, because all of his published work is penciled and not inked. But then at a convention, he he brings his brush and ink, and everything is done extremely quickly. It's amazing how fast he can go. Yep, she is very talented, and she's a really talented artist in her own right. I don't know if you. She was at a convention and she was doing these little doodles, little characters, and they were really cool. And I was hoping she would do something with them, like make prints. But I think she was just doing them. It was kind of like something she was doing at the show. I don't even know if she was selling them or not. I was just looking at them, and they were really cool. So a very talented and nice couple that they are. You saw her doing those little characters? Yeah. Let me just adjust this. I have this headset with a speaker on, and I the only reason I'm using it is because it does help my voice sound better on my recording, because I could use the one above me on my camera, but when my air conditioner kicks on and stuff, it picks that up. I don't need the headphones right now because um, I'm not listening to anything, and I don't have like Craig or Jared or anybody here to converse with, so I don't need to hear them. But like I said, the main the main thing for me, wearing them right now, and they do get a little warm. I will tell you that they do get a little warm. Uh, is for the voice thing. Ryan, I was at Phoenix last year, um, and I was there a couple years back when Jay and June were there. So I'm trying to remember what year it was. It may have been 2015. So I don't know if that was the year you were there. I saw them also at the Tidewater show. I think that was the first time I actually met them at a show, was the Tidewater, and then saw them again in Phoenix. Yeah, that's what I'm figuring. If you've been at those shows, and I have too, we probably have. Hey, Mike Cross. Did I do that? Just an arm punch, though, right? I didn't gut punch you or anything. I wouldn't do that. I might give you a friendly shoulder punch. But good morning, Mike. You getting any snow up there yet? Or is that a word I should not mention? Because if I mention it, it might happen, right? Thanks, Big. It's kind of weird not having her eyes in. So let's kind of put them in. Oh, with that one, with that Captain America piece, yeah. You know, that's still one of my favorite, if not my favorite Captain America sketch that Zach and I did. And funny thing was is that for some reason, and Mike's kind of known for it, but he really wasn't doing it a lot on sketches. But yours was the first one he really went and kind of put in, because he used to assist Wally Wood when he first moved to Connecticut. He kind of put that Wally Wood lighting on it, and he hadn't really done that on a lot of sketches, not to that degree. So when he did it, I was like, wow, nice. Maybe it was just for you. He knew you waited so long. But since then, he's begun to put more lighting on this stuff. A lot more of his, kind of his signature split lighting, which I enjoy. I think it looks great. There, looks better now that I got the eyes in. So Heroes Con for you this year, Mike, or not? Hey, Ron. That's a good question. Movie, I still like um, yeah, her, the one in the Burton film, Michelle Pfeiffer. That's who I was looking for. TV, I can't remember her name, but if you can remember it, I want to say Ursula Kitt, something like that. Oh, okay, Mike, I got you. Eartha Kitt. Yep. Oh, I was wondering where you went, Dr. Kaz. I thought maybe you had to step out. I see you're just just watching. Well, nothing wrong with that, sir. All right, Big. Take care. Thanks again for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. I'm sure you'll catch the rest on the replay. You have a good day, and see you tomorrow. Speaking of snow, I'll go ahead and actually, this Sunday, me and the family will be driving up to Washington, D.C., and Monday's a holiday, so I have to take my wife to get her Philippine passport renewed, and I have to do it in Washington, D.C., so I downloaded to my phone the Washington, D.C. weather, and I've been keeping an eye on it because her, she, and my son they've never seen snow, and I have. But I'm also kind of watching out for snow because I don't really want it to like snow a lot, and I can't get out of there. Um, but I did notice this morning, I mean, it changes all the time, but it looks like I think it was the day we're leaving, or no, Wednesday. We're leaving Thursday morning to come back home. Um, there was a snowflake. And I'm like, uh-oh, because it showed rain the day before, and it's cold enough that it could snow. So if it does, somebody will be happy. Not necessarily me, but yeah, I'm not familiar with drawing Catwoman, so I I Googled her. I mean, I kind of know the costume, but since I've never really done her in a book or anything that I can recall. Every time I draw Catwoman, I have to Google reference, and I always, since this is Darwin's design, I always get pictures of his Catwoman, and you know, I love it. So you will see that. I see that in, that's part of her thing is the goggles. Let's see. Weather. There we go. Let's see. Up. See, it's already gone. The snowflake from Washington that was showing up on Wednesday is now turned to rain. But I know with this weather stuff. Oh, look. We're having a 71 degrees right now. That's nice. I know with these weather things, you have to check them constantly. Like we were supposed to have a whole week of rain, and that didn't pan out. I think we got one day. So uh, it's about as reliable as just, you know, just going and seeing what you get. I mean, I guess it helps a little bit, but I've never found them to be, you know, they're like the weatherman. Of course, I'm sure that's who's programming it. Not accurate. I think, let's see. That does help me. Looking at my own feed, I can see I need to make this one a tiny bit bigger to mirror the other side a bit, and that should do it. Yep. Yeah, 75 is nice. Ron, about the only thing, I did some sightseeing there by myself, like I was telling you back in the 90s when I was up there for a convention. I think I was telling you, went to the Smithsonian, and I would like to do that again because I I really didn't I really didn't appreciate it as much as I should have. I was just like, yeah, whatever. I saw Fonzie's jacket. they, they literally had. I don't know if I was telling you that or not, Ron. All right, Mike. Appreciate it. Hey, on your way out, if you can give this live stream a thumbs up, a like, I'd appreciate it. If you're already gone, uh, well, you're gone. But have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Next time you can pop in. But anyway, so yeah, I didn't really take advantage of anything there, and it's not like I'm going to have a ton of time. So if I do, the zoo would be good, but I don't know. I know it's going to be cold. I do know it's going to be in the 30s and 40s. So I don't really want to be out in that. And Jacob has an interest in museums too. So I think the Smithsonian would be a safe bet. I think it would be fun. I think we kind of all would enjoy it. So that's you know, kind of a plan. Thank you much, Mike Cross. You have a good day. Be careful out there, and we'll see you soon. So that's it, Ron. Like I said, if I don't, I know I'm staying at some place in Georgetown, and it seems to me that that's the area I stayed in last time back when I did a convention. And when I was there before, I know I saw the Lincoln Memorial, the Vietnam thing, which was the memorial, which was very, uh, it's pretty amazing. Um, kind of forgot what I was going to say about it, but it's very, when you see all those names, um, it's very humbling. And I didn't get to see Arlington Cemetery, which is something else I would I would like to visit and pay respect to the people that have given us this country with their lives. Yeah, yeah. Are you going to come bail me out, Ron? Can I call you and say, hey, can you get up here? And I, I don't think I better do that. I did look, and apparently, and I don't know if anyone is familiar with it or not, but I guess it's free. I I kind of looked into it last night, not telling anybody, but I was like, what's it cost? And I think it's free. I think they do accept donations. Um, but the interesting thing, the thing I was going to say, uh, was they had a thing on there if you want to donate something, like, you know, uh, what you have to do, like to get something donated into the museum. Like, it had the steps on how you submit something. And I briefly read them. I didn't take a lot of time, but it seemed to me like, you know, I know they are looking for iconic stuff, because I can't remember if it was you, Ron, that I told, or somebody else, but um, when I was there before, like I remember the Spirit of St. Louis, and uh, one of the first jackets that Henry Winkler wore, uh, as Fonzie from Happy Days, and it was just, eh, you know, no, I don't think it was you. I think it was my friend Raph on a phone call. Um, but the interesting thing was we were talking about it, and it was like I've seen uh, I've seen Henry Winkler at a few comic book shows because he's out doing those now, and he's older, and but that's not the point. The point is that jacket is so small. It's like it's almost like no way, could anybody fit into this. And when I see him at conventions now, he doesn't look like he's that small. I mean, not that he's huge. He's older and has some weight on him, but it just it's very odd. I'll just say that I remember that jacket being so tiny that it almost looked like a teenager's jacket. And I don't know if any of you all have been anywhere and had that same experience where um, you see clothing or you see a celebrity's outfit they wore in a movie or something, and man, you look at it, it's just like, wow, who's going to fit into that? Is that the real thing, or am I being duped? But from what I understand, um, there is that certain, I think we've all heard about it, that smaller people with bigger heads. I know that sounds odd, but I'm just repeating what I heard. Tend to uh, shoot better on film and TV and stuff. Go figure. I even remember seeing a leather jacket over here when they had Planet Hollywood in Orlando that Arnold wore in one of the Terminator movies, one of his suits, and he's supposed to be a big guy. And I looked at it and said, wow, that's pretty incredible, because it looks like it would have been tight on me. Yep, I believe that, Ryan. All right, so if I get in trouble, you'll you'll drive your Charger up there, or your Challenger. Sorry about that. Uh, Triple stat. All right, I'll make sure my wife has your number. That actually would be kind of funny, though. I wonder if that would fly. I doubt it. I don't think I should try it. But you've given me an idea, at least. If I get bored, I'll know what to do. Yeah, I actually I've seen one of those Christopher Reeve suits too. Now, you know, I wouldn't say he was big, but it looked and this is going to sound odd. It looked normal. I'll just say that. It looked like, it looked right. It didn't look like this freakish weird um type of thing. The other thing, and again, it was on another trip, and I was in Richmond, Virginia, and I went to a Civil War museum there, and I know some of the guys in the Civil War were young, but you know the uniforms were tiny. Again, I mean, I'm talking shoulders and stuff like that. I mean, and the length of the sleeves, it just, you know, really kind of made me wonder. I mean, I know that the life expectancy back then was less. I know that people, you know, didn't have the abundance of food that we have now to eat, and the growth hormone stuff, I guess, that can kind of make us grow taller, stronger, bigger, heavier, whatever. But some of those World War II, or not World War II, Civil War uniforms were, again, just really on the small side. I mean, extremely on the small side. Again, I would look at him and I'm just like, who could wear that? All we have to do is ropes around the bars on the window. Okay, let's do it, Ron. I actually got to get my vehicle in for a service and oil change before I leave. So I'll look into doing that maybe today. All right, Ryan. Yep, double on Friday. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. Hey, Ron, are they still working on your car? No, I haven't found my big brush yet, but that's okay because sometimes brushing a big area, you get some wet ink and it goes into it the wrong way, not the way you want it to. So I'll use that little painting brush that I haven't used yet because it's kind of scaring me because it's such a big flat. I don't know why I bought like what is that? That's like a 1 inch. That's a big one. I'm gonna have to lay down a big wash if I want to use it. So also, um, I guess getting on with my story about my trip is I have to unfortunately take a 1 week hiatus from the morning live streams and the Friday night. However, I will be back on the following week, which is Thanksgiving week, and Friday, if it still goes as planned, and I don't know when it'll be, but since it's Black Friday, we do. My friend Craig Zablo is a fan of Stallone, and I always, well, not always, but we did it quite a while back. We started because his wife, and they've kind of earned Black Friday now. It's basically, it's like they're already having Black Friday sales. They're not even waiting till Thanksgiving now, to start them on Thanksgiving, disrespecting the thankful holiday. But um, just it's I we call it Black Stallone Friday, and I do him a Stallone drawing while his wife is out. See, she used to go out and get all the Christmas shopping done for the family, and I mean she'd be gone all day from when they used to start. Maybe around 4 in the morning or something. She'd be getting in those lines and stuff, and Craig had nothing to do, so we kind of started. I think I did it for a couple years in a row, and then it got lost in the shuffle of other things. Um, but we're going to do it again this year. So we might be streaming quite a while on Friday because I will come up with a Stallone drawing for him. Maybe I know he wants he likes Stallone doing the Jack Carter character, and he's also a fan of John Wick, which nobody told me about John Wick. Nobody told me how good that was. I saw it on a plane, and I didn't get to see the whole thing. The second one. Haven't seen the first one yet. Just found out that the first one is available on Netflix, so gotta watch it. Gonna have to. I haven't even watched a episode of Daredevil season 3 yet, so I'm again behind, but I'll catch up. Oh, on your car run? Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry that happened to you, man. And your car. Love that car. Mopar. I thought it was funny. You and Miguel had the same, you know, Challengers, different models, but Mopar guys. So yeah, um, depending on my Friday, I will be doing the Black Friday Stallone drawing, and I don't know if I'll be doing the 3 for free Friday night on top of it. Depends on what time and how long we go on the Stallone piece. Uh, if I can talk Craig into helping me out with the chat, that would be good. But sometimes he's a little difficult. I get it. He gets a little bored if it's not me drawing a Stallone piece. uh, Now he'll probably pop in the chat room. His ears are probably burning. Maybe, maybe not. But as far as yeah, see, as far as I know, I don't know if I will have a. Yeah, well, I won't announce anything yet, but I know I'll be doing something uh, the week of Thanksgiving, but I know I won't be down here Thanksgiving Day because we'll be having our Thanksgiving. But I don't see why I wouldn't um, not be being productive here Monday through Wednesday. But I'm going to play that by ear. So you all will know when I know. I will blast it out to my social media channels that I know you all are following. Yes, John Wick was, well, I saw the second one, but man, what a great movie. Hey Don, good morning. How you doing? Welcome in. Grab a chair and make yourself comfortable, sir. Thanks for coming out. Okay. Time for a little bit bigger. Get those blacks filled in faster. How we doing here, Doc? How's it looking? No problem, Don. Always willing to try to accommodate. Da, 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 da. Thank you, Ron. I'm happy with it myself, and that's it's a rare thing. Of course, I'll probably hate it by this afternoon, but that's the life of an artist, right? You kind of get something going and you like it, and then you hate it, and then you like it, and you hate it, and then you see it. Like some of my work, I've seen it like 30 years later, and I'm like, that's not that bad as I may have remembered. That's the real interesting thing is when you see something so far and you have these horrid memories of it, and you see it again and you're like, you know, I I remembered not liking it at the time, but now seeing it this 3 decades later, not so bad. I think we all tend to really go hard on ourselves to the point of, um, I know I'm guilty of it, to the point of um, maybe even like, making ourselves stop doing something because we feel like we're failing. Uh, oh, she's Beatty. Well, thank you, Doc. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, Ron. This is just a big round brush. I got this one yesterday when I got this paper. They call it a filbert, and I think this is what Jay Lee uses, and it's supposed to do soft. I haven't used it yet because I want to experiment with it before I try it. I know I've used this one before, so I'm comfortable with it. But that brush that I just showed you is only like about $3.99. It's not like a huge investment to give it a shot. And if it works out good, then I might use it instead of this round. But this round works fine too. So I think pulling the camera back, or up rather, I didn't really pull it back, helps helps keep me keeps the picture in the frame, or the whatchamacallit. You guys help me out here in the picture. Yeah, in the picture frame while I'm streaming. I guess that was right. Just didn't sound right the first time I said it. Second time I said it, it sounded right. All right. I don't know if y'all can hear me tapping tapping this brush on my now dirty. Let's get this in the picture. My dirty water rinse. But that's what that is. If you hear it, you're not hearing things. It actually is a ticking kind of noise, a tap tap tap, tick 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 tick, like that. So, all right. Now she needs a little, and I mean just a little bit on her face and lips of tone. And if you notice, Ron and anybody else watching this, I waited until it was very dry and very soft to go in on her goggles. And this isn't going to be a good, I can see it doesn't show the softness of the feathering, because I wanted it to maintain kind of that metallic look and pick up a little bit of shine type of it all appears to be dry there. Famous last words, but it's a little tacky. Picked up a little bit of ink, but that's okay because I got it off, and ink wash going over that is not going to be a problem. Let me get that off my finger into the clean water. Yes, I have a clean water here too. And I'm going to see from my dirty water, because it started out clean and all I did was put the brush in there and clean the ink out. So I'm going to see what kind of tone that gives me. See, it's just, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. This is the way you make ink washes, water and watered down ink. Wow, I'm really surprised going over this Pitt brush marker that I was showing Ryan on the inking. It's not moving any of that. I thought that stuff would bleed. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Well, it's actually a good thing to know. So I can use this shade without going any darker. Thank you, Don. I appreciate it. This has been a fun one. The doc came up with a good list for me to do. So I got a couple more to do for him Thursday and Friday. And for now, I guess we'll keep those a secret, right, Doc? If you want to say what they are, if you remember, you can go ahead and feel free, but I'll kind of keep them hush so that I always want to have my tissue here. Yeah, it was a good list. I think I told you what was on it, Ron. Didn't I? Can't remember. Boy, I can't remember Sunday. Yes, okay. That's good with me. I like the surprise too. I think I did tell Ron Sunday though, but he's good. He's keeping mum. Give her a little bit of shadow up on her eye. I'm gonna go darker in this part in her lips. I will come down here to this and give it a little bit of the light wash. And a little bit on the bottom of her goggles. We'll sculpt that out a little bit more. I really do like, I know I say it every morning, but I really do appreciate you all coming out this early and supporting me and helping spread the word and liking the stuff I do and um, helping me build a following in the YouTube community. Very nice. I enjoy reading the comments, so I appreciate those and the likes as well. All right. You know what? Before I get this darker, a little bit under her nose of the light. And just a touch for her cheeks. Beauty. Oh, it's actually interesting. I was going to say this is probably a little subtle to show up on screen, but I can see it coming in, which is nice. I'm going to build this up just a little bit because I really like it, and I think I can go just a little bit darker with another layer. Add just a touch. This is the second little. There we go. Okay. Looking good? All right, now I need just a little bit more ink. I'm going to get it out of the cap of my well, I guess I'm going to have to. Here we go, everybody. I'll bring in the let's see. All right, tool time. This is a little eyedropper type tool that I actually got from my son's elementary um, class when we went to a little Halloween thing. They were doing science experiments, and I was gonna buy an eyedropper so I could put a little bit of water into a little palette like you just saw me do. And I saw these things, and I asked the lady that was there. I said, "Hey, where, you know, I'm looking for something like that. Where can I get it?" And she said, "Oh, you can order a bunch of them off of Amazon or something." And you know, the fact of the matter is, I really only needed one, and so she gave me one, and I've been using it. So shout out to my son's elementary school. Now, is that gonna be? I think I want to go just a tad darker. So a little more ink, and y'all can't quite see it, but I don't want to get it too close to the artwork. And let's see. That dark is looking about right. So I don't need quite that much on the brush. So let me give it a wipe and pick up some more ink wash. All right, let's go in and see what we have. Looks good. This one will get no background treatment because I like the center placement so much of the figure and the uh, dark, the face and the dark at the bottom. I think that adding anything to it will, design wise, ruin the composition. So um, I think it works just the way it is. So I'm not going to fiddle and try to add something that is not needed. I'm actually, I was going to say I could probably go a shade darker on this dark wash, but we'll see when I get up on the up into her mask if it's necessary. Down here it's looking a little light, but I think it's going to look that way just because it's so dark. Um, and it might be to my benefit just to leave well enough alone. I do hear people beginning to come into their offices now here in the building. So I know it's about that time. This, I'm going to add just another layer of darkness in here to turn this inside a little darker into a light, dark light, highlight. So the white, the glass of her goggles. Yep, let's not forget her mask and earpiece. Thank you, Ron. Ron, you have a great day, man. And I'll catch you in the comment section or tomorrow morning. Have a great day. I appreciate you. Thank you, Dr. Kaz. I'm glad you like it. Um, I think we got some winners here for you. Made some good choices, and I'm having a good time doing them. And with a few more brush strokes, this should be done. And then it's dry time, scan, thumbnail. All right. There we go, everybody. Dr. Kaz's Catwoman. Hey, Tater, welcome. That's fine. It'll be there. Thank you, Don. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun doing this one. I had a good time. Hope you all enjoyed watching. I appreciate you all getting up and keeping me company. Tomorrow we'll have another one, 7 a.m. Doc, I appreciate it. Shannon, when did you slip in the room? You've been watching and not talking? I appreciate it, everybody. So I'll go now because I'm out of stuff to say. And just, well, thank you, Doctor. I appreciate that very much. You have a good day. Everybody else in the room have a good day. Those of you that tune in later and watch this, have a good day too. And I will be back again tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. And we'll see what the doctor ordered for Thursday. So take care, everyone. Have a good one. And I'll see you the next time around. Bye for now.